Woo, child. The Real Housewives streets are messier than a lace front in a hurricane. And baby, this one right here might be one of the juiciest scandals ATL's ever seen. What if I told you this wasn't just drama? It was strategy, allegations, betrayals, and a calculated setup that might go deeper than we think. And just when the girls thought that the truth was buried, someone unexpected might be getting ready to flip the whole storyline on its head.
Let's talk about it.
I want people to have fun. Let's kick back. Let's get into a little tea. Let's not get too crazy, but let's enjoy the sip.
Clock that tea.
But let's get to the chi-chi, the kiki, the internet bull.
Everybody knew that you came in as my friend. And like, so.
This is Scotty. She runs the South. Big Lexus was next. Whoop my ass. What you doing now, nigga? While you doing push-ups?
It's my turn.
I got you one. Go ahead. Come here.
Is that a MAGA hat?
Come here. No. Come here.
What is that? Did she just start out a MAGA hat? Girl, make that as Google app great again.
And show her what she hears. She's not young and reckless. Bitch ain't young nor reckless. Oh, who ain't reckless?
Ferrari, like, who ain't my show title? Show me who ain't, so I can go up to them, and then I can have a reason to say my show title again. Because did y'all know that this is Young and Reckless Season 3 hosted by Ferrari? Because if you didn't know that, then guess what? It's Young and Reckless Season 3 hosted by Ferrari. And you bitches are young and reckless on Season 3 of Young and Reckless hosted by Ferrari.
They not letting up this season. And I'm like, whoa, like, y'all bitches is really...
Bitches are really young and reckless. Season 3 hosted by Ferrari. Like,
so now I have to do some investigating with all of the ladies to see how it all went to hell, child.
Can we catch you up? So you know when you were upstairs getting your beauty rest.
Yeah. Can we catch up? Because you know when you're upstairs getting your beauty rest, the way that Kelly talks, because then you have Brent that's like nice school, and then you have Kelly that talks like this. You're like, oh my god. ...
Space.
Sisterhood, in quotes.
Don't fast forward none of this. Absolutely not. I want to know every last motherfucking thing that Angela said. What the hell did Tangela say to them? Don't keep secrets.
How you doing, RuPaul? Now, Gilbert, you are a very funny man. Have you always been funny?
Alicia, I mean, I definitely understand committing to the character, but like, did she just start hormones yesterday? Where she put her titties? Girl, that is not a chest sleeve. Stop laughing, you transphobic.
I'm a T-girl from the past life.
Protecting the dynasty is a full-time job.
Talking about my kid, you stupid bitch.
I don't even...
Right, because you're talking about my daughter. Jackie, you talking about my daughter. Don't talk about my daughter. Don't talk about my daughter or my daughter's daughter.
No, I feel like at times I rest my case.
Not Banner was on Season 2 looking like a country Bama. Girl, I thought that was Shawnee.
Ooh, Phaedra, get the hell off screen. Okay, listen, what is going on? Oh, no, I can't use that background either. What is going on, y'all? It's Scott Santana, aka Chi. And baby, when I tell you that we are back for another motherfucking Stars and Scandals, okay? Stars and Scandals. And baby, if you're new here, Stars and Scandals is where we look to the stars, for the stars, and the scandals that they are in to make sense of what the fuck is going on. Now, y'all know that Scott don't miss. And most of the time when I be up here doing my commentary, I literally just be giving commentary and talking. And then it just turns out that I'm right. Like, that's just what it is. Like, I just know shit that I shouldn't. You know, some call it magic, but the things that I see, I don't understand it and why it happens to me. Shout out to Raven Baxter, okay? But no, seriously, like a lot of the times I just be talking, okay? But I felt that it was important for me to start up a series called essentially Scott Don't Miss, but called Stars and Scandals, because sometimes I do want to dive deeper. Sometimes I do want to know what spirit is saying. Sometimes I do have all of these downloads, but I'm like, I need to make sense of it, and then I need to talk it out with y'all so we can just make sense of it together. So that's exactly what this is. This is the situation with Phaedra and Angela, and I've been very, very vocal about how I felt about the situation. And since the beginning, I felt like Phaedra was fucking lying. I felt like everybody was looking at Phaedra like, oh my God, why would she do it again? Season 9. And I'm like, girl, that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. All of season 2, it was Phaedra, 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 Phaedra. All of season 3 of Traders, it was Phaedra, 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 and she wasn't even on the season. And it's just like now that we're on season 16, everybody's suddenly just so forgetful that she was even on Traders. And it's just like, if y'all stop and just look at like everything that's led up to this point, I feel like the truth would be obvious. Okay, like, I mean, hello, she was on Traders, so clearly she learned a thing or two. Hello, because she already went through the situation with Candy season 9, she learned a thing or two. Okay, and then the fact that everybody's like, why would she get a peach and she was only there 10 days? Exactly. Production is covering for her. Exactly. Exactly. Like, in the whole time leading up until season 16, you know, all we kept hearing about was the finale. Ooh, girl, Phaedra ain't there long, but ooh, girl, the finale, the finale, the finale. And they kept putting it in our heads. Like, I had seen several different interviews where the girls was just talking about the finale and Phaedra and her impact that she made and how she was only there a short amount of time. And, you know, she really came up with a splash. So, all things considered, it pointed to Phaedra, okay? But today, when I was on YouTube, I saw a clip from part 2 of the reunion where Phaedra ends up calling her brother. And I was just like, this is so set up. This is a scheme that Phaedra came to us with the bullshit set up outside, girl. And Spirit started giving me more downloads. And I was like, you know what? Let's just make a fucking video out of it, right? Because Stars and Scandals, we look into the stars for the stars. And that's exactly what I did. I have no idea exactly how I'm going to structure these videos in the future, because literally me just deciding to do them now for real this time, it's very impromptu. But I will say this, before we go ahead and dive deep into this and everything that came out that Spirit had to convey, just take it with a grain of salt, okay? Y'all know that Scott don't miss, but for those that don't understand psychic energy and spiritual energy and intuitiveness and all of this, there's different timelines that can happen. And so while I believe in everything that Spirit has told me and shown me, you know, different things can happen, different outcomes can happen. It can play out differently. We do have free will. Aside from God's will, there is free will. So just keep that in mind. You know, if it comes true, it comes true. If not, then oh well. But Sky usually don't miss. So there's a lot that came out. And again, I have no structure for how I'm going to be doing these videos. Like, I'm just testing and seeing what I like, seeing how you guys respond to it. The Beyonce video that I put up, you know, a lot of people enjoyed that. And, you know, some people were saying, you know, they love the story format. With this one, we're just going to go straight through. We're going to go straight through from the questions that I have from Spirit and then Spirit's response. Okay. I have all of my notes written down, and we're literally just going to go through it. Okay. So go ahead and like the video, because there's a lot of plot twists, a lot of twists and turns. And yeah, I don't know if y'all are going to be expecting this to happen, but go ahead and like the video so we can go ahead and get into it.
The universe is P double T to the Y, and it won't stop till I wake up and realize that I am the 1, 2, 3. I am the bitch that these little niggas ain't. How you gonna escape when I am the key? That's why everywhere I go, they say following me like damn. Get back on track, look at who I am. Every day is numbered in this lifespan. Look in the mirror, tell myself again. Self-love and happiness is all about I got swing. Happy, doing what I believe, trying to do what I need, whatever it takes to be free. I wanna be happy.
Okay, so like I said, I still don't know how exactly I'm going to structure these videos in the future, if I'm going to remain off camera, if I'm going to be on camera. I don't know. Like, this is all new. So I'm still just working out the kinks and trying to figure out what feels right. So as far as this video, is going to be very much set up like question and answer, right? Because truly, like I said, I for those that don't know, I have all of the clear gifts, but my strongest is, I believe it's called clear cognizance. It's just when I just know shit that I probably have no business knowing. Like I just know shit, right? And then it just always comes out to be true. And so, sometimes I'll just sit with my downloads, I'll speak on them. And, other times I'll clarify with spirit and like go deeper. And so with this, it's going to be set up question and answer style because that is exactly the way that I clarify with spirit. I have specific questions and then spirit gives me a specific answer. And, because this is a video, I have everything written down as notes. And as we go through this video, you're going to see how it progresses, right? Because I don't like to just take one answer and sit with it. Like I always like to get deeper and deeper clarification because, even if you've ever seen like a tarot video, it's good to clarify because it can change the flavor and the nuance of situations, especially when it's situations like this that are so complicated and so layered. So starting off, I said this, I said, I want to know more about this Phaedra and Angela storyline on RHOA. Angela claims that Phaedra paid off a guy named Marcus to come and bring up rumors about Charles, her husband. Phaedra says she didn't do it and everybody's letting her off easy, given Dungeon Gate with Candy and Phaedra on season 9, because why would she do it again? I don't know if I believe this as the truth. I feel like Phaedra did it and could be protected by production and maybe even have Porsha assist her. Phaedra and Porsha both say Angela lied and is making this up for TV. What is the real truth? Okay. What is the real truth? What is the real tea? Right? So the truth, Angela's not lying. Angela is not lying. She might be amplifying for the camera, but there's definitely truth at the core of her accusation. And Spirit is basically saying, yes, Phaedra did play a behind-the-scenes role in bringing Marcus onto the show and tying him to these rumors. But here's the kicker. Phaedra did not act alone. And she didn't do it for drama. She did it to control narrative and positioning. Okay? So here's the thing. Angela thought that the group would hold Phaedra accountable, but instead she's being met with calm deflection and public protection. And Spirit is saying that the group dynamic is being managed intentionally. Like production doesn't want to blow up the scene too early. And Angela knows that she's telling the truth, but she's being put in the quote unquote problem box. Like she's being made to look chaotic while everyone else is playing safe and strategic. So Spirit was showing me suppression of the truth, but for the sake of optics and alliances, right? So this storyline is actually opening up new doors for Angela, and that's part of why Phaedra and Porsha are trying to shut it down. They don't want her to rise from this. They want her to crack under pressure. So there was manipulation. Somebody let something slip, orchestrated something, or nudged Marcus forward. This was not random, and it wasn't just production. Spirit showed me that Phaedra, some of you will get it and some of you won't, but Phaedra was shown to me as being like an empress, but in reverse. When you look at me, I'm an empress. Okay, I'm in full empress energy. Okay, but Phaedra was being shown as an empress in reverse. Okay, and that is somebody that is very calculated, very withholding, very strategic and power plays behind the scenes. And then not to mention, y'all, Phaedra is a true Scorpio. That's why she always has like these off-kilter jokes and she jokes about death. And that's why she's a lawyer. That's why she's into Reiki healing. And that's why she's into the funeral business. That is all Scorpio energy, right? But the thing about a Scorpio is that a Scorpio is like a scorpion. Like it will sting and you won't see it coming. You will not see it coming. Like, you could do something to a Scorpio on May 1st, 1999, and I promise you, even if it takes to September 3rd, 2026, they're going to get you back. They're going to get you back. They play the long game, and plus they learn from their downfalls, right? So when it comes to this situation, there is regret, but not guilt. So the energy around Phaedra is cold, but it's strategic. It's like, I didn't do it per se, but I didn't stop it either. And if it benefits me, oh well. Like she didn't see this situation as being anything like Candy's situation at all. Like she looks at this situation like, okay, I'm smarter this time. Y'all are not about to catch me again. So again, like I said, I like to clarify upon clarifying, and it will get deeper and you guys will see what I mean by that. But initially the energy came out as Porsha being indirectly involved. Like, she likely didn't pull the strings, but she knew more than what she was saying. And Spirit showed me her riding the fence hard because she doesn't want smoke with Angela or Phaedra. So she's doing damage control in real time. Now, Angela's telling a distorted truth. Not everything she said is 100% accurate. There's some exaggeration, maybe some misinformation about how it all went down. But the essence of her claims is real, is valid, is purposeful, right? And I mean, that is to be expected because Angela doesn't know what the fuck is going on. You know, all she can do is grasp at straws and try to put two and two together. So I don't take that to mean Angela is lying at all. No, Angela's telling the truth. She's telling her version of the truth as she's actively in real time trying to put this story together, right? You know, it's you having two and two and trying to see what you can make of it, right? So the story is far from over. Spirit is showing that production is holding back footage, edits, and receipts that could support Angela's version, but they're being delayed or softened. Now, I just realized that is one part. I think I went a little bit deeper with the footage. Yes, there's definitely footage, but exactly what is on footage, I should probably, I don't know. We'll see if I need to go dive deeper on that. But there's definitely footage. But they're protecting Phaedra. And I do want to say something that is not in my notes because like I said, everybody was wondering, okay, well, Kenya got fired and she wasn't there. They didn't invite her to the reunion. But like, when you look at Phaedra, she got a peach. She's on the main fucking cast photo. She's second chair at the reunion. Like, all of this screams that production is protecting her, right? She didn't do shit on Married to Medicine. And then this last reunion episode, Phaedra said out her own mouth, girl, I got a guaranteed contract for season 17. So before anybody else could get a pickup letter, Phaedra already has a guaranteed contract for season 17. Clearly, production is protecting their investment. Okay, so that needs to be known. And we're gonna get into that and how production plays a huge part in all of this. But yes, they're definitely holding back footage. There is footage that could support Angela's version, but is being delayed, is being softened because Phaedra's being protected. She's their investment and being the seasoned returner and a polished contract to the contrast to the new girls, right? So what's the real tea? Phaedra likely did have knowledge and involvement in Marcus showing up. The intention was to plant narrative seeds, not to cause an explosion, but to create subtle doubt around Angela's marriage, which she had already been doing. Like, yes, they filmed the confessionals after, but in every confessional, Phaedra has smoke. She already came on too thirsty because she was reading each and every one of the girls for filth for no reason. She didn't even know them. And then even in her first scene with Porsha, she sat down and she said, she talked about how basically Charles is known in the streets, right? And I think people keep forgetting Phaedra brought on Bolo, brought on Ridiculous, right? Like, so Phaedra is, you know, used to that underground world. She does have another side to her. She's a lawyer by day and free co by night. So it's like, it's not unheard of that maybe Phaedra had a sex party and Charles would show up there, right? I would not put it past Phaedra to be throwing sex dungeon parties, and then, you know, she probably seen Charles there, and that's why she keeps planting the seed of doubt that Charles is out here creeping on Angela. And if you remember the whole bank situation, remember that episode? I know it got overshadowed with Brett in the gun comment in Kenya, but that episode, that same episode at the bank, Porsha literally said to Phaedra, Porsha said to Angela, like, she insinuated that she knew more about Charles. Like, ooh, I know some tea on your husband. And then it went under the radar because Angela had questioned her about it and was like, what the fuck? And Porsha was like, oh, I was just trying to kiki. But then episodes later, you going around talking about you would fuck Charles. Girl, no. Them two been in cahoots, right? Porsha may have heard the plan or been adjacent to the setup, but didn't directly participate. She's trying to keep her hands clean. Angela's telling the truth, but not the whole truth. She's emotional. She's triggered and trying to hold her own while the group and production low-key isolate her. Okay? When you look at the group, it's Drew and Angela, it's Kelly and Shamia, it's Porsha and Phaedra, and then Cynthia is just there, right? Now, Phaedra is calculating every move this time. She learned from season 9 and she's played the long game. Her image matters more to her than the truth, right? The story isn't over. It's just being edited strategically, but the receipts are coming. So this is when I wanted to clarify, right? This is when I wanted to clarify. So I asked Spirit directly. I said, okay, so who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? And this is when the energy literally started snitching hard. Okay. All signs pointed to Phaedra. Okay. All signs pointed to Phaedra, but she wasn't alone. She engineered this energy, like as in she planted the seed, knew what would unfold, and counted on other people to carry out as long as she didn't have to get her hands dirty. So this wasn't something that was sloppy. This was very tactical, right? Phaedra pulled the strings. She wanted the narrative out there without saying it herself, and she orchestrated the vibe, likely nudged Marcus towards the camera or producers, or co-signed this presence, knowing exactly what he'd say, right? Somebody else helped execute all of this. When I was pulling energies, I ended up getting a Queen of Wands reversed. And so to me, that represents somebody that's jealous, somebody that's messy, a loud ass third party who thrives on attention and wanted to see Angela rattled. When I saw the clip for, and I also believe this because when I saw the clip with Angela confronting Phaedra and Phaedra calling her brother, for one, it felt so set up. And we're gonna get to that in a second. It felt so set up, it felt so staged. It felt like, oh, how convenient. Like, and like, why the fuck do you know his number by heart? Like, come on now. But Angela also mentioned how Phaedra and her were out at a game, like not together, but separate. And then one of Phaedra's friends came up to her and basically said, what's up? I'm the one with the hands. Like, Phaedra might beat him out, but I'm the one with the hands type shit, right? And so I most definitely believe like there is somebody else that helped Phaedra concoct this plan. Aside from production, protecting her, there's somebody else who helped her. It could either be like a loosely affiliated or even a mutual friend who had beef and wanted to stir the pot, but definitely somebody that's connected to both sides, but closer to Phaedra. And Porsha knew. She didn't set it up, but she was aware of what was going down before Angela was. She chose silence to stay out of the line of fire. And Spirit basically showed her in avoidance and image protection mode. Like, if I don't speak on it, then it can't come back to me. And Marcus, literally a messy gay ass queen that was a pawn. He had his own motives, but he was absolutely set up to appear at the exact time and say the exact right thing. This was not a coincidence, okay? And so there's regret now. There's regret now because the thing is that this was never supposed to become this big. Like it became way bigger than they expected, and no one is feeling guilty, right? This is cold, calculated, prideful energy and self-preservation over accountability, right? Like they're trying to control the fallout instead of just admitting the orchestration. So it's lies on lies on lies. And listen, by the end of this video, when I tell y'all who is going to be the one to blow the lid off of all of this, baby, the tea, girl. Listen, I had to stop mid-reading. I was like, Spirit, I'm enjoying doing these way too much because it's one thing for me to sit down and do like personal readings and stuff like that, but like this diving into Hollywood and the scandals and all of that that's going on online, like I really like doing this shit. This shit is fun. Like Price and Mess is where we, sit back and we talk, we give commentary, but like Stars and Scandals is unbiased. Okay, so I do want to put that out there. Like when it comes to Price and Mess, that's me, that's my opinion. That's my commentary, but Stars and Scandals is meant to be completely unbiased because it's not about how I feel. It's about what the energy is, right? And you guys will see that once I get to because I'm going to do a video on Megan Thee Stallion. And, you'll know what I mean by it's unbiased because y'all know how I feel about Megan, but wait till you hear what I found out with the Meg, Tory, and Kelsey situation. And also another video that I'm going to do that people have been asking for, you can look on screen right now, is this video right here. Okay, y'all been wanting to know about Nikki and what's going on with her and all of that. I'm gonna do a video on that. Don't worry. But back to this Phaedra shit. Phaedra planted it. A third party set it off. Porsha stood by. Angela spoke out, and now everybody's basically scrambling to keep the edit cute. But here's the thing: the receipts are real, and somebody slips by the reunion, right? It's not gonna stay hidden forever. Spirit was very clear. This is not going to stay hidden forever because there was too many hands involved and not all of them are loyal. So my next question to Spirit was, okay, well, why was Marcus's speech about Junebug and Phaedra being the godfather so messy? Because I assumed that Phaedra had learned from Traitors, a show which is clearly, I feel like I'm the only person who keeps yelling this. Traitors is literally a show about murdering in plain sight, then shifting blame to get blood off your hands. So she wanted to rely on people not thinking it's her because of season 9, but also make it so over the top that it seems fake and basically frame it as Angela did this to herself. And Marcus, him being a messy ass gay queen and then him owning a restaurant, more business for him, he was willing to go along with it for his 15 minutes of fame. And so, baby, when I tell you that Spirit was like, listen, you basically cracked the motherfucking code, okay? Because what I had was not just a theory, it was a blueprint of the goddamn situation. And I said, I know, because Scott don't miss. Scott don't miss, okay? Listen, the whole Junebug situation was not accidental mess. It was deliberate chaos disguised as a moment of love. When I tell you that this whole moment was like chess, because Marcus was sent in there to purposely deliver a bomb that looked like a bouquet. Sweet on the surface, but laced with implications. And think of it like this, like Phaedra being the godfather was control and hierarchy, right? And then this weirdly emotional public monologue, that was distraction, that was deflection. And then the casual mention of Charles, that's targeting Angela through her marriage without directly accusing. So this was definitely performative sabotage. And honestly, when I watched it in the scene, I felt exactly that. I was like, this is not real. This is set the fuck up purposely. And it was crafted to seem chaotic and disorganized so that the group would go, now, wait a minute. Girl, this is too messy to be real. Angela must be doing this for clout. That was the point, y'all. That was the point. This was a very strategic Traitors style hit. Again, it blows my mind how quickly people forget shit. But yet everybody be thinking they right, but then everybody quickly forgets shit that is so recent. Like, we watch Traitors. We literally look forward to that show. Like, it took off season 2 because of how Phaedra went off on Dan. Like, that is literally the point of the show, to murder in plain sight and then wipe your hands clean of the blood and blame it on somebody else and make it look like you had nothing to do with it. How do people not understand that that directly connects to Real Housewives of Atlanta and the situation between Angela and Phaedra? Like, Phaedra studied season 9. She studied the Traitors. She studied how to move like a damn chess player. So she knew if it was too clear, it would look like a hit. But because it was so dramatic and so emotional and so gay and so over the top, it would read as, okay, this is just a messy gay queen that's doing too much. And yes, she definitely particularly chose a gay man because, again, it would read as, oh, this queen is doing too much. This is obviously fake. Angela is clearly behind this. But that is the manipulation, y'all. The goal is to make it so loud and so unbelievable that the real source goes unquestioned. Do you hear me? Let's talk about Marcus. Why Marcus specifically was the chosen mouthpiece. Because one, he's dramatic, he's disposable, and he's detached. Marcus ain't a part of this damn show. He don't give a fuck how messy he looks as long as he is motherfucking seen. Okay? Remember the assistant that Drew had? And how he was ready to go upside Drew's head? And how he was talking about her wigs and her styling and all of that? Okay? And wasn't he over there with Sheree as well? And then we found out that he was over there with the girl Alexis Scott on Love and Hip Hop, and Alexis Scott had him jump. Like, these messy queens exist. It's not just in Atlanta. It's definitely a gay thing. Okay? Hell, when I used to do my baddies videos, I used to tell y'all all the time, like, watch out for these fans, because even with Bad Girls Club, I would see how the fans would think that they was on baddies or they was on Bad Girls Club and how they would get involved. Like, that's just the nature of these gays out here, girl. These mama nissies, okay? So Marcus knew what to say, and he was happy to play the role. He was used, but is it really being used if you volunteered? Because the attention was the reward, right? So basically, the energy spread that I did, it screamed that this was intended to spark something big, whether that was division, doubt, or full-blown drama. And the emotional manipulation was real. They played on nostalgia. They played on alliances. They played on confusion. And Phaedra wanted this to be spun as Angela's downfall, while her own hands looked clean. And this whole thing, a karmic wheel in motion. Old dynamics from the past being reactivated now, but this time Spirit is watching, and the truth has a time limit. I don't think y'all understand. A lot of shit that, like, because people are like, oh, well, they're taking down every black billionaire. And it's not just It's not just just billionaires and all of that, baby. Like Pluto is an Aquarius, and then plus the way that the other transits are set up right now astrologically, it's not really a time for getting away with murder. It's not. It's not. This is a time of exposing. Like I kept warning y'all the last year or two that Pluto and Aquarius was not going to be this happy-go-lucky thing that people thought. No, baby, all of this is a part of it. So, like, yes, truth is going to come out. And remember that I said Pluto and Aquarius because do I want to go ahead and spoil it now? Do I want to go ahead and spoil it now? Okay, because a certain Aquarius is going to have a lot to do with this. And I'll leave it at that. Go ahead and like the video. I'm going to let you ponder on that. A certain Aquarius is going to have a lot to do with this. Okay, hello, Pluto and Aquarius. Go ahead and like the video.
Nothing for free. I cuss a lot. Bitch, I'm a queen. Not like the thoughts. If you wanna be together, you gotta split that check down. You wanna be forever, you gotta split that check down. Gotta send a check on me. Gotta send a rest on me. Hey, hey. Gotta move successfully. If you want the best of me. Hey, hey. Gotta send a check on me. Gotta send a rest on me. Hey, hey. Gotta move successfully. If you want the best of me. Hey, hey. I like the.
No shade, y'all. Hold on. Let me take this bitch off the screen because this is about me. I just love the fact that like every time something happens, people hit me and they be like, "Scott, don't miss." Like somebody just hit me. Like it's almost like a daily occurrence at this point. I mean, I wish y'all booking readings with a motherfucking daily occurrence. The fuck? TheAlanaSouls.com 333 ho. Run that bag up. Y'all out here buying Beyonce tickets, but y'all not doing shit to better y'all life. Yes, ho. My price is my price. Run that money up. Run that bag up. Okay, come to me. Okay, and even if your money fucked up, don't worry. I do those type of readings too. Huh? What happened? What happened? Okay. Or if you want to know about love, okay? Because I don't want you getting with somebody and then y'all got rumors out here circulating around y'all like Angela and Charles. Baby, come book a love reading, okay? And even if you ain't got all that money and you a broke bitch, it's okay. We got affordable readings for you too. We got readings for every budget, bitch, okay? But just shout out to y'all because I literally just had somebody hit me up yesterday like, "Oh, Scott don't miss," and it was something. I guess because I do remember telling y'all that Trump was sick and that it was going to come out. But child, I just be talking. Like y'all gotta understand, I just be talking. That's why I said I'm gonna start doing videos like Stars on Scandals to where, instead of being a regular tarot reader or a regular psychic that just sits down and does like, here's your Aries reading for the week. I mean, I'm gonna still do those, but like these are a lot more entertaining, because everybody can relate and everybody might not be checking for a zodiac reading, but like we checking for the tea girl. Okay, well, yes. Yes, y'all always checking for the tea girl, okay? But I'm the tea girl with the tea girl, okay? But let's go ahead and get back into this because we got so much more to get into. This ain't just about Phaedra Parks being exposed because she will be exposed, but there is so many plot twists, girl. And I'm gonna tell y'all now. Yes, I asked about Nene. Anyways, let's move on. So yes, Marcus' speech was definitely crafted to implode the moment while protecting Phaedra through disbelief. And listen, it almost worked. Almost. Because Angela may not be perfect, but she clocked the play. And once more footage leaks, so will the truth. Okay. So I asked Spirit, I said, okay, so we talking about footage now. There's more footage. Yes, more. And it's not just scraps. There's game-changing footage, okay? So what Spirit showed me was that something got filmed, but edited out. Or delayed for later, which is basically the same thing. But then, no, not really. No, not really. Let me actually change that. So it got filmed, but edited out or delayed for later because sometimes things can get edited out and they're not brought up to surface. But being that receipts are going to surface, yes. So I want you to think like off-camera conversations, mic'd up moments, or even like maybe a scene that producers shelved because it was either too much or maybe it didn't fit the episode flow yet. I know Marcus has come out lying and da-da-da-da. He just wants attention. He's trying to extend his 15 minutes of fame. Do not pay attention to any of that. Pay attention to what the fuck I'm saying, okay? Scott don't miss, okay? So somebody with money or status, like the Queen reverse energy I was telling y'all about earlier, may have influence to edit, but that truth is still sharp. It's still waiting and it's not staying buried, okay? And the footage directly exposes the juggling act. Like, here's how the setup was orchestrated. Here's who knew what and when. And the universe is literally going to force it to resurface. Okay, those of y'all that understand tarot, when I was pulling energy and I was sitting with the spreads, I got the wheel and the magician, the wheel of fortune and the magician, right? And that told me that divine timing is about to drag receipts into daylight, and no amount of image control will stop it. So yes, there is unseen or unaired footage that confirms manipulation happened. And it'll either be like a leak clip, the reunion flashback, or producer confession, or maybe somebody goes rogue and spills. And once I got to that, I was like, no, wait a minute. Because I started feeling the energy. Right? Because Spirit was saying it to me as though like somebody is going to go rogue and spill, and somebody who was underestimated. So I'm like, okay, now who could be underestimated, right? And the energy that I got was Angela. Okay, they thought she was just a pretty face, a filler girl, a newbie who basically just come in and fizzle out or fold under pressure. But Spirit is like, nah, Angela is the wild card, the one that they did not expect to be as strategic, observant, or spiritually protected, really. And I think that's also too why it's coming out, because Angela's not to be fucked with. She's not to be fucked with. Like, sometimes you just have the golden child, and I don't mean like in a family. I mean like with God. Like you have God's favorite type shit, right? And that's the vibes that I get from Angela. And it also makes sense too, because none of us was really featuring Angela before the show. We hadn't really heard much from her. We had seen all the other girls talk, but we had never really heard much from her. But then she was the silent killer this season. She was the one who came in, shook shit up, and became the star. And what Spirit showed me was that she was isolated on purpose. You know, she was left out of alliances, spoken about behind her back, and not given equal footing in group dynamics. And part one of the reunion kind of confirmed that once they brought up the fact that, yes, there were actual alliances and whatnot, right? And instead of Angela breaking, she watched, she studied, she took notes. So that whole quiet girl energy is calculated. She's not clueless. She's just collecting. So her confusion early on was I set up? Who's lying? But it turned into clarity through experience. So she's been piecing things together spiritually and socially. And here's the real kicker. Angela has something, whether it's a text, it's a call, a moment on camera that wasn't supposed to be remembered, but she held on to it. And now she's deciding what to do with it, right? I know in the second part of the reunion, she's going to bring out her folder and she's going to mention Phaedra's brother and the sister. I think it might be a little bit deeper than that, because the conflict that I'm sensing isn't just cash drama. It's Angela debating when and how to strike. She doesn't want revenge. She wants truth, vindication, and control of her own story. And also, too, I feel like what people have to realize is that sometimes you do have to play the long game, right? You don't want to reveal all your cards at once, because you do want to be called back for season 17. So just keep that in mind, because we're not going to get everything this reunion. We're not. And if I was Angela, I would not reveal every single thing this season. I wouldn't. I would do just enough to crack open the door and plant seeds of doubt and whatnot and clear my name. But like, the goal is for Angela to come back next season. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind, right? Again, because she doesn't want revenge. She wants truth. She wants vindication, and she wants to control her own story. So, you know, basically they laughed at her behind closed doors, and now she's about to flip the script. And when she does, she's gonna go from irrelevant to them taking her seriously. Okay. And so, you know, I asked Spirit, I'm like, okay, so where is this happening? Like, when is this expose happening? Okay. Reunion is where it starts. Right? That's the battlefield. That's the confessional courtroom. That's where Angela stops holding her tongue. You know, this is when fake alliances maybe start to crack, pressure's boiling over, and the end of Phaedra's narrative control is coming. It's coming. Like, there is going to be a downfall moment where it comes. And there could even be like an old shit type of energy that this season ends with that nobody expects, right? But there is karma that's catching up on camera. There is going to be manipulation that is exposed. And that's the whole game basically coming full circle, right? It's not Angela reacting, it's her reclaiming, right? And so for me, you know, as I'm sitting with this, I'm like, well, there's only 3 parts to the reunion. Part 2 is about to air on Sunday. And, you know, there's this clip of Angela and Phaedra and the whole Phaedra brother. Like, and I felt like that was a lie. You know, so what's going on with that? And Spirit instructed me or said to me that, you know, this is just damage in real time, damage control in real time, right? The phone call with the brother is staged, orchestrated, you know, intentional misdirection, because Phaedra calling her brother on camera is PR strategy, right? The call wasn't about proving innocence. It was more about creating doubt in Angela's credibility, because the brother truly might not know Marcus because he was never meant to, right? That's a part of the story. That is a part of Phaedra's web of lies. That was Phaedra's way of laundering the setup through someone trustworthy and neutral looking, right? Angela brought a school connection and a messy gay into the mix, and it's not a straight shot, it's layered, right? This lie is tangled, not obvious. So there's a lot of betrayal here. Angela is experiencing deep isolation, disappointment, heartbreak, because she walked in with truth and essentially they laughed at her and flipped the script on her. She expected people to see the setup for what it was, but instead she got thrown under the bus again, because now it's like, okay, she looks even worse. And so there was a king energy that kept showing up, a king energy, like a master manipulator in power, right? And this would be somebody that is smooth, persuasive, respected, but knows how to spin a story and control perception, right? And so I was confused about this energy. Because I'm like, what is this king energy that keeps showing up? Who is this master manipulator? And Spirit was very clear. That king energy is production. It's not a literal man, but it's more like the masculine archetype of control, of image management and narrative dominance, right? It's that slick, composed, just trust me, I know what I'm doing type of energy, right? That could only really come from an executive type of level, right? So the real king of Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's not the women, it's not the cast, it's not even Phaedra, it's the showrunners, it's the EPs, it's the higher ups behind the scenes, the ones who's deciding what gets to get aired, what gets edited out, who gets the hero versus villain edit, right? They're the gatekeepers of perception. And so they're protecting their investment, which is Phaedra. And I know the question that everybody's like, why protect Phaedra? Well, because to them, she's good TV. She's calculated. She brings drama, but she still gives glam, laughs, and quotables. Like, she's the embodiment of what they want Real Housewives of Atlanta to be. And when it comes to Angela, even though she's likable and well received by fans, she's also unpredictable. She's new. She's still learning the game. They're not loyal to her just yet because she's new. So they're using her. So every time that the king energy showed up, it was Spirit showing me a man, because it's masculine coded energy out of dominance and narrative control, because this is about power, not truth. Okay. So it could be a man, like a physical man, but it would be higher ups. It would be higher ups. Like, think of this like a Game of Thrones. Like, people have to understand, yes, it's reality TV and it's supposed to be real life, but it's reality TV and it has to be entertaining, right? So it's all about a story. Even when you're watching Drag Race and like Big Brother or Survivor, yes, there are people there to win, but they already know who they want to win based off of whatever storyline they're going after. That's just what it is. So, you know, my natural next question in Spirit was, so when is the truth coming out? Being that it's obviously going to come out, but when? Like, are we talking part 2 of the reunion? Part 3? Is this after the reunion is over? Is it online? Is it season 17? Will the truth stay buried? And Spirit was like, listen, it's not staying buried. It has to come out. And it's not all going to come out on the reunion either. Okay? So it's not part 2. Part 2 is damage control, spin, and gloss. Like gloss over, right? Part 3 is where we might get a crumb, like maybe like a weird moment or a side eye or like a cryptic edit that makes people go, huh? But the real reveal online after the reunion, right? And this could be anything from like leaked DMs, anonymous blonde items, or an exposed video from someone tangentially involved. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Okay. Now, season 17, that's where receipts will possibly get brought up on camera. I believe so. But it'll only happen if one or two things go down, right? And this is where I talk about timelines and all of that, right? Because, things can shift. Because originally, a long time ago, I had said that, I didn't know for sure if Britt was going to return or not, but the energy was pretty much this. All Britt needed to do was show up with accountability and she would have returned. That's it. But somewhere along the way, the energy flipped because Britt was the one being accountable and being remorseful. Kenya wasn't. Kenya was doubling down. And then out of nowhere, the energy flipped. So now Britt is obviously not coming back. And now Kenya is more likely to return, right? So, but still the energy was whoever is being accountable and being remorseful is going to be the one to return, right? I didn't see that. I saw Britt being the one just based off of what was happening in real time, because Britt was physically being remorseful and Kenya was physically still doing interviews and still talking shit and but then the energy changed. So this is all contingent upon if Angela returns, right, and demands the truth to be addressed, which she will, okay, or another cast member flips and exposes what really happened, likely after they fall out with Phaedra or production. So it's a slow burn, not a mic drop, right? Somebody's going to spill eventually, and when they do, it's going to make people rewatch the whole season with different eyes, right? And probably put together everything that I already mentioned about, like, how Phaedra came in hot, her confessionals, how Porsha spilled that tea at the bank, like, because this shit was plotted. It was plotted. It was plotted. It was plotted. It was plotted. Okay, so naturally, my next question, and I kind of already knew who it would be that would speak up, but again, I want to clarify because especially now that I'm doing videos like this, I don't want to just take the first answer at face value. I want to dig deeper and deeper and keep clarifying because I want the ultimate truth, especially if I'm about to get up here and stand 10 toes down like, no, bitch, this is about to happen. So I wanted to know, do we already know there's somebody that's ready to speak? Who is this, right? And so Spirit said, yes, we know them. This isn't a stranger. This is somebody who's basically already in the mix. They're well-liked. They're well-respected. They played it safe publicly, but they've been collecting receipts behind the scenes. They're strategic, and not for the messy sake of it all, but they will air it all out when the moment hits right. And immediately, my mind went to a person. But then I was like, right? Because Spirit went on to say, this is a cast member or somebody adjacent, like an adjacent insider with production T, cast T, and fan base pull. Somebody connected to more than one person in the conflict. Like they could take either side, but they stayed out of it so far. And they got love for the game, but also ego. It's somebody who has recognition, vindication, and that viral moment. So when they speak, once they speak, the moment is going to read as, this is a truthful clapback that gets me trending. I'm going to let y'all sit with that for a second. So you can think of who this person could be. Sit with that for a second before we do a reveal.
When the beat starts bumping, the music starts thumping, I make my way into the crowd. Everybody's moving, the people are grooving. A celebration's happening now because I'm not trying to be rich someday. I'm rich right now. I'm not trying to be rich someday, 'cause I'm rich right now.
Okay, so This is somebody who's been debating this for a minute, okay? Two sides of them going at it, right? But Spirit told me they're not going to be quiet forever. They're waiting on the right platform, the right payday, or the right betrayal. And it's not a random leak, it's a power play emotion. And the one holding the tea is closer than y'all think. Smiling now, but ready to detonate the group chat later. So, again, clarified, right? We just going to clarify everything. We don't take shit at face value. Let's dig deeper. Let's dig deeper. I challenge Spirit, okay? I like the challenge Spirit, and you guys need to as well. You don't just, like, even in your own life. Hold on, let me take this bitch off screen and put me on. Because when I'm talking, okay, when you get downloads and whatnot from Spirit, you can take the first thing at face value. And sometimes, a lot of times I do, because again, I'm already gifted myself. Like, yes, I can hear Spirit. Yes, I receive signs from Spirit. But because I already have gifts of my own, I already know, okay, what I need to store for later, what's truthful, what's not. So, but even when you receive messages and downloads from God, from Spirit, from the universe, question them, ask them. Ask for confirmation after confirmation. Make sure that what you're receiving is what you're receiving, right? Because it's so easy to get wrapped up in ego. Like feminine and masculine energies isn't just like female and male. That is social and human conditioning. No. We all have female and masculine energies within us. Masculine energy is logical. Feminine energy is intuitive, right? And a lot of times as humans, we're like, society has programmed us to suppress our intuition and to focus on logic. And logic is definitely useful. It's definitely needed. Like, you can't always have your head up in the clouds like a Pisces and get sidetracked on cloud nine. So it's definitely useful, but like, a lot of times it is easy for us to ignore the red flags or ignore our intuition because it has to make sense in this logical type of way. And everything doesn't make sense in that type of way, right? Sometimes it's just shit you can't explain. So clarify. When you get signs and notifications and downloads from the universe and God and Spirit, clarify. Don't be afraid to ask. I need you to, like, if this is really it, if you really want me to leave that nigga, if you really want me to leave that job, if you really want me to stop talking to the people, if you really want me to go no contact with my mother, like, show me till I get it. Explain it to me like I'm 5. Don't be afraid to do that, y'all. Literally. We all have teams and guys and, like, I mean, I'm definitely that girl, okay? And some of y'all are that girl, but y'all not that girl. And that's okay. That's okay, because listen, I can teach you how to be, okay? But we all have like a spirit team around us, whether you want to believe that's ancestors, angels, whatever. All you have to do is invite them in. They want to help you. You just literally have to tell them, okay? You have to give them permission, right? So some of y'all, they might communicate through music. They might communicate through lyrics to you. Some of you guys, they might communicate through angel numbers. Like, ooh, I'm not going to spill out my tea, but girl. Let's get back to this before I listen. I just wanted to say that little bit of tidbit, okay? Because, as you guys see, we're about an hour into this because this ain't no me just coming up here and saying, okay, Phaedra's going down. No, I want to know the entire fucking story. I want to clarify, Spirit. What the fuck we talking about? Okay? So, I'm like, I already knew where it was headed, but I'm like, I gotta clarify, I gotta dive deeper, I gotta do process of elimination. We're gonna make sure this tea is motherfucking piping hot and it's real. So I'm like, who is this? Is this Porsha? Is it Drew? Is it Shamia? Is it Kelly? Is it Cynthia? It can't be Britt because Britt is off the show and I don't foresee her coming back after showing Bravo. Like, or is this a person not on this season, right? So this was the vibe that Spirit came through with. This person is on the outskirts, but not out of the game. They're not fully in the main storyline right now, but they're still connected. Think a recurring cast, a friend of, or somebody production keeps in their back pocket. And the energy basically screamed, I'm watching, I'm working, and I'm waiting. So, process of elimination. Not Kelly, because she doesn't have the juice of the pool. Not Shamia, because she's too embedded in the mess, but not strategic enough to hold on to a bomb for later. And definitely not Drew, because she's too reactive. She would have already said it. I'm not going to hold you. Part of the energy pointed towards Porsha, right? because she's detached but aware. She knows how to pull strings from the shadows and then act clueless and act brand new when the heat comes. And she does have unfinished business with Phaedra, but she knows how production works. And because she's been burnt before, you know, now she moves like a queen who's learned the game. She waits, she watches, and then she strikes when it profits her, right? But here was the real kicker that the energy was also showing me. This is a person holding a receipts bag that nobody sees coming. And so that's how I knew this can't be Porsha, because this is a person that is acting burdened. They are acting busy with life, but they still have a story to tell and is linked to the truth behind the scenes. And so I was like, that's not Porsha then. That's not Porsha, right? Because if I'm being shown that whoever this is quiet, they're strategic, they know where the bodies are buried, and when they speak, people listen. And then I'm like, okay. Spirit is like, this person has a real offer coming, an exclusive, a blog, a platform moment, you know, and they know that their truth is valuable. And they're not speaking yet because they're building leverage. But when they do, it'll change the way folks view the whole storyline. So I was like, because again, I told you I already had an idea of who this might be, but I'm still clarifying, right? So I'm like, okay, Spirit, is it somebody that's not on a show? Is it Kenya? Is it Candy? Because again, Spirit is like, it's somebody that's detached. Like they are part of the group, but not a part of the group. So I'm like, okay, so then they're not on the show. So I'm like, okay, is it Kenya? Is it Candy? Because everybody's like, oh, well, Phaedra's there, so Candy might not come back. She's not going to come back as long as she's there. And then it's like everything that happened with Britt, and that Britt's not coming back. It's like, is Kenya coming back? It's like, what is going on? Right? Like, I'm like, Kenya was on the show to the Britt Edie shit, but she left early. Like, what's going on? And so Spirit's response was this person, they're not front and center, but they're not going either, right? So think disengaged but observant, removed but not irrelevant. And the energy felt like they bowed out early or didn't film much, but that was by design, right? Because they saw them as building and said, y'all not pinning all of this bullshit on me. But they've been watching everything unfold, quiet, strategic, highly aware. Who does that sound like, y'all? Who does that motherfucking sound like? The same bitch who decided to start a YouTube channel, call it Her Confessionals. Okay, the same bitch that's out here giving $25 haircuts this weekend so she could promote her struggling business. This is Kenya. This is Kenya, y'all. Why? Because she's not going. She's deeply, deeply intuitive, okay? Kenya plays the long game and only strikes when it's emotionally or reputationally or contractually worth it. Kenya knows things, actual things. And that high priestess energy that was coming out strongly for me, it represented Kenya choosing silence for now because the justice is still unfolding. And let's be honest, Kenya has been burnt before, so now she moves like a chess master. You have to realize all of these girls are learning how to move in real time. Phaedra studied season 9 in Traders. Now she's applying the knowledge. Porsha has studied what happened to her season 9. Now she's applying the knowledge and staying silent. Angela is watching how the cast and crew and production and everybody's flipping on her. Now she's being more strategic. So is Kenya. So is Kenya, right? But this also confirms that the truth is going to come out, but not until Kenya decides that it's time. Okay. And she's not emotional. She's intentional. Right. And it's about weighing whether or not this exposing of the truth is going to serve her or if it's going to be better to let the dust settle and then come back later with receipts. Right. So the final takeaway was, basically Spirit saying it's not somebody fully in the mix. It's someone who left early on their own terms, but they hold the scales. And so I'm like, okay, Spirit, because I feel as though it's Kenya, but I want further clarification. Is this 100% Kenya? I got a very strong yes. A very strong yes. And the reason why is because Kenya is a seer. She's a strategist. She's the one who's been watching the circus while keeping her heels clean. She knows the rules. She's sharp as hell. And she's got something to say, but only when it hits maximum impact. And so there was a conflict energy around Kenya that was not random. It was calculated tension. And obviously she's been removed from the show. So I'm like, why is that? But It's because she's waiting for her moment to serve truth, to shake alliances, and remind folks why she's that girl. So I can most definitely see season 17, her coming in like, Phaedra and Porsha, y'all not even close like that. Y'all wasn't even chilling after all of that. Y'all doing all of this shit for TV. Like, I can see it. I can feel it. Okay? I can feel it. She's got intel. She's got motives. And she's got receipts on everybody at the damn table. Everybody. Everybody. Hear me when I say Kenya has receipts on everybody. Phaedra thinks she slick. Because you know how Phaedra had the foreclosure information sitting on ready with Angela? No, King is 20 steps ahead. Okay? So there's a plot twist coming. So naturally, my next question for Spirit was, okay, well, how is the cast for season 17 looking? How's it looking? Right? Because I'm feeling some things, right? And so Spirit said season 17 is given a major shakeup, but not a full-blown cleanse. There's definitely a sense of fresh energy being introduced, but not everybody is getting the boot. So think restructure, not demolition, right? So some of the current girls will definitely come back, but the vibe is that they'll be on notice. And I think that's more so referring to Shamia, Kelly, and Drew. I didn't really dive deep and go into that because honestly, I didn't really care. Because to me, I'm like, okay, well, this screams that we already know Phaedra's coming back. Obviously, Porsha has to come back because, hello. And then Kenya is more likely to be tapped in. So that's 3 right there. Then Angela's going to have to come back if we're going to continue the storyline. So that's 4. Okay. I could see Shamia and Kelly getting bumped down to friends. I could see it. But yeah, Spirit said, production is watching who can actually carry a storyline without sinking the whole shit. So some of the current girls are definitely coming back, but the vibe is that they're on notice. 1 or 2 might get a redemption arc opportunity, but they have to deliver for real, or it's going to be a one and done, and they're going to be gone. So as far as Kenya's position, she's going to be centerpiece energy. Okay, still playing the long game. The network sees Kenya as smart TV. So she's not going anywhere unless she chooses to walk. She might come in lighter at first or maybe late to filming, but she is a central player to a deeper narrative for season 17. Okay. Then I started getting some other energies, right? Because somebody's gonna cry on camera next season and not in a cute way. Think overwhelmed, exposed, and realizing that maybe they're in over their head. It feels like a new girl trying to hold her own, but realizing RHOA is not like YouTube or like TikTok fame. There's a face that just came to me. There's a name. I don't know her name, but there's a face. There's a face. Hairstylist, MUA. Hold on, y'all. Because there's okay, hello. Making sure my mic is working because the shit just cut off. Wait, testing. Okay, there's a face that came to me. I don't know her name, y'all. I don't know her name. I don't know her name. I don't know her name. But I know that the Baddie twins was with her. Because I'm like, because mind you, I didn't clarify this part, but I'm just actively following downloads and real-time. So now I'm like, are they going to go the influencer, YouTuber route again? Because remember that they had LaToya. I would love if LaToya came back, honestly. I would love if she came back. And it could be her, but like the energy feels new. Because, and I remember this because the Baddie twins went to, I believe that they went to the finale party for last season. And then they went to another party that Yandy had. And this girl was there. And I'm really trying to find her name. She lives in Atlanta. She lives in a Tierra Monet. There we go. Right there. Right there. I knew. I would remember. Because I believe Tierra Monet is in Atlanta. I don't know.
I want to work out, but I still want to get bundles.
I don't know if it's her. I don't know. I'm literally just throwing something random out there. Let me see. I'm gonna pause y'all real quick while I post some energies and let me see. Okay, y'all. I just had to pause this and I had to pause for like 10 minutes to sit with this energy because listen, and I could be shooting in the dark right now. So take all of this with a grain of salt. Because as I'm talking, I was getting flashes of her. I don't follow Tierra. I don't know much about her. All I know is she was a makeup stylist or a hairstylist. That's all I know. I don't follow the girl. I haven't really watched a video from her since like 2016 when I first started and I was trying to figure out how to juggle YouTube. So all of this could be a shot in the dark. I don't know. I don't even know if she still lives in Atlanta. And I don't know if she helped Kenya or if somebody suggested she helped Kenya. I feel like I heard somebody suggest that she should help Kenya with her social media. Back when Kenya was like struggling and crying about it, I feel like I was watching a YouTuber and they was like, she should get with Tierra Monet and help her. So if she was to come on the show, I could most definitely see that. Like her coming in as Kenya's friend or something like that. But I'm going to give y'all the energy that Spirit gave to me and then we're going to hop back into the video. So I said to Spirit, I said, who is this new girl? Right? And at first, the energy was given Kelly. And the reason why it was given Kelly was because of the confidence, the charm. It was giving Kelly as the what do you call it? Okay, put it this way, because it's somebody who wants alliance, who wants a spotlight, maybe even romance on the show, but it's given like illusion shattered, like they're in scenes thinking they're building bonds. Meanwhile, the OGs are watching them like they're a walking storyline and a liability. And it could be somebody who comes in expecting clout, maybe connection, but they get a crash course in how Bravo really works. So it's almost like the new girl that's here that gets hazed. So then I'm like, nah, it can't. That type of energy. I don't know if that's Kelly because Kelly would be a little bit more seasoned, like by season 17, right? So, I clarify and I'm asking Spirit, I'm like, is this somebody we already know like Kelly, or is it a brand new face on the show? Because I'm still not getting off of Tierra. So the energy is like we know of her, but we don't know her. And it's not a total stranger, like a random off the street casting, but it's not a Corvette. Like it's somebody that's adjacent to the group, maybe brought in by another cast member to stir the pot or rebrand. It could very well be Kelly, or Kelly could very well. I'm not gonna like knock it. Kelly very well could have a moment. So just in case that happens, But it's giving somebody who's made a small appearance or floated in social scenes, but now she's got camera time and she's about to realize what it actually means to be in the ring. So the public is gonna recognize her name, but she's not a main player yet. And so I'm like, oh no, this is definitely. It's feeling like a Tierra. And if it's not a Tierra, it's feeling like the energy that I'm feeling heavy is a Tierra, a LaToya. I was about to say LaToya Luckett. No, LaToya from you. Like it's given a YouTuber, it's given social media star, it's given an influencer, TikToker, YouTuber turn reality star. That's what it's given. And it's giving that there's a bit of hazing there where it's like, welcome to RHOA, sweetheart. Like, welcome. Like, there's a moment where that happens and it's not gentle. So I reiterate with Spirit. I'm like, who is this? Who is this? Like, is this somebody new that is casted for season 17? Like, let's dig deeper. And the energy basically screamed like, yes, it's somebody that's new that's casted, not somebody who was officially in the mix and not a full-time or peach holding way. So it's giving friend of, right? And this is a person who walks into the spotlight thinking that she's got her alliances set, maybe even believing that she's the balancer or peacekeeper, but she's walking into a maze of illusions, and there's a lot of shifting loyalties or emotional booby traps, right? And she might think that she's found her tribe or on the cast or align herself romantically or socially with somebody high ranking, but it won't last. And she'll feel duped, she'll feel outnumbered or emotionally naked, right? This is somebody who comes to reality TV, but it ends up feeling like Survivor Atlanta edition, right? So I'm like, tell me more about this new cast member, how we know her, right? It's somebody that's been grinding for years, but only just recently started catching real momentum. Like she's been on the scene, but always just kind of like one step away from main character status, reality TV adjacent, maybe even industry adjacent. Think influencer, stylist, entrepreneur, or former athlete's partner. And I'm like, yeah, that definitely sounds like Tiara. And it's somebody that people know of, but don't know well. Always had a polished image, maybe even aspirational. But RHOA is going to crack all of that open, right? I received a moon and a king energy that tells me that she's connected to a powerful or charismatic man, either currently or recently, who has shaped a big part of her reputation, her opportunities, or lifestyle. And so she's carrying around a lot of expectations, either from herself, her man, or from the network. And she could be positioned as being like the new it girl, possibly meant to bring youth or a luxury energy. And what's so interesting about this is that I also picked this energy up months ago when I did a Brit in Kenya reading. And I had picked that up, like, because I felt like, okay, Kenya's not going to apologize. Brit, if she apologizes, she's going to stay. Like, because they've been trying to reboot and go younger. So I really would not be surprised, y'all, if they add another YouTuber, another TikToker, another social media life influencer. Like, they're meant to bring that youth and that luxury energy, right? And it's given like new house, new bags, new weave, but same inner anxiety, right? She's welcomed in at first, like people are rooting for her, but then the honeymoon phase doesn't last. And so, you know, I directly asked Spirit, I'm like, is this Tiara? And again, they were a little bit coy and said, this is somebody who feels like they've been watching the game from the sidelines, like emotionally preparing, maybe doubting themselves at times, still refining their brand and image. You know, a lot of big dreams, a lot of emotional baggage, something to prove. They want that happy ending. They want marriage. They want status. They want family vibes. Now, I don't know if Tiara, I don't watch her content. I don't know anything about her. So I don't know if this aligns with her aesthetic. But if it does, then her being around these sharks is going to be a dream that gets tested real quick, right? And if it's not Tiara, it's somebody just like her, right? It's like a YouTube baddie with glam, goals, and wounds that she hasn't broadcasted yet. So I asked one more time. I said, is this Tiara 100%? And I got a yes. And we're going to take this with a grain of salt. Because if it's not Tiara, again, I have to keep stressing it could be somebody that is Tiara-like, okay? But the energy gave two powerful public figures aligning. I saw a power couple. I saw like the energy that came out was king and queen of wands, right? And typically, like when you're dealing with tarot and you get like two cards like that, like a king and a queen, especially of the same element, it's like, okay, this is a power couple, especially when it's in wands, right? This is visibility, this is presence, this is influence. With fast movement, a past being left behind, seeds finally being planted. Like, this is like, oh, I manifest my way here. And if it's Tiara, she's not just being cast, she's ready to play the game, right? She's leaving her sweet past behind and stepping into a space where every curated moment, every planted seed, every brand collab has led to this, a bigger stage, real reality, not just YouTube edits. So she could go from luxury girly to gladiator in Glam Hills. Whether she knows it or not, Atlanta is going to test her. Yeah. So let's hold on to that. Let's put that in our back pockets. And yeah, let's go ahead and finish up this video, okay? Because there's a lot. So back to the original question that I had, which was how is the cast looking for season 17? I got 4 cups, and the vibe around that told me that there is still a risk of stagnation if production doesn't fully commit to the reboot, right? So we might see a couple people that safe, boring decisions, but it doesn't necessarily land well with the fans. There could also be one character that could feel checked out or miscast, almost as if they're there, but their energy is off. It could also be somebody trying too hard to be neutral or who just doesn't mesh at all. But the bigger picture is this: expect new faces, expect returning icons, and at least like, what the fuck is she even doing here? Casting choice. The storylines are going to be more emotional and real life focused than manufactured mess. Money, marriages, reputation, real adult problems. So that's good to know about season 17. But season 17 is the setup season, right? It's rebuilding a legacy. Not everybody's going to stick, but they're pulling in fresh energy with actual emotional depth. And as far as Kenya, she's going to be the anchor for whatever truth bomb is still ticking in the background. It's not chaos. Again, it's a slow burn with a long-term payoff, right? And so my next question naturally was, well, what about Nene? Girl, if this microphone don't stay put, this shit just came unplugged again. Let's hurry up and end this goddamn video. Okay? But my next question naturally was, okay, well, what about Nene Leakes, right? Because Nene is very much still tied to the soul of Real Housewives of Atlanta because she is Atlanta, right? And y'all know I cannot stand Nene. I don't want to see her back on the screen. I will never forget how she said to Jason Lee that she felt like she insinuated that her cast was a bunch of house N-words. Yes, hard ER. And she compared her Bravo struggles to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and said it felt like she had a foot on her neck. I don't like Nene because of those reasons. So I wouldn't want to see her back. It's time to rebuild and reboot, right? But Nene's name is still on the call sheet. Her influence is very much still active. Production is watching her. They miss her flavor. They miss what she adds. She's money. She's money. So here's the thing. There could be a guest appearance. There could be a surprise cameo in the finale or the reunion, or maybe even something online or podcast based that goes harder than the show itself. Nene is playing strategic. Like, I wouldn't say she's officially back, but I would say watch her work because she's watching and they're watching her. And the streets are buzzing with whispers of a power move that might not be on the surface, but it's real. And I know this much to be true because I did see a clip of Claudia Jordan confirming that she talked to a higher up Bravo exec who said that they are trying to get Nene back for season 17, right? So there's mystery and delay. There's talk behind the scenes, but not full confirmation. Either contracts are being renegotiated quietly, or Nene's waiting to see if the current cast implode before she swoops in. She's playing chess. And, whether it's through her own platform, podcast, or a crossover appearance, Nene is going to make herself undeniable next year. She just is. And again, I don't like the bitch at all after the shit that she said that everybody seems to overlook. But, I mean, the energy is the energy, right? So season 17 isn't going to start with Nene, but it could end with her name in everybody's mouth, right? So naturally, my next question was, so Kenya is definitely returning. And yeah, straightforward answer, Kenya's not done. It's a strategic return. Okay, she's weighing options, but is leaning towards, I got something to prove. Money talks, and the bag looks like it's being secured or offered soon. I mean, she needs the money for her hair care spa. She invested over $100,000 into the shit, so she needs her money back. And if and when Kenya returns, it's going to be with purpose, not for clout, not for drama, but to reestablish power. So Kenya's coming back. It's not chaotic Kenya, it's calculated Kenya, because this time around, she has something to gain. So she's going to be holding a peach. This is a re-entry with purpose, with security, with value, with spotlight and a contract. The network wants her back. The storyline needs her. And she's still a ratings magnet, whether folks love her or hate her. And emotionally, she's in a place where she's ready to film again and make it about her bag and her narrative. So yes, Kenya Moore, main cast season 17. Again, I am unbiased. I don't want Nene back, and I also don't want Kenya back because I feel like y'all got to get out of this. Like, I feel like nostalgia can be sweet, but most times than not, y'all are stuck on nostalgic shit because you have trauma that you have not dealt with. Let it the fuck go. Even Degrassi had to have a new generation after a while. When it comes to reality shows, they need to reboot every 7 years. They're going to come back and do what? Kenya was on the last 3 seasons and y'all hated them seasons. Those were the least ranked seasons of all time when it comes to Atlanta Housewives. So this whole spotlight that, oh my God, Kenya is going to save the show. No. Now with Phaedra now being there, yes, it adds some newer dynamics because it's shit that we haven't seen in over 9 years. But, come on. But now knowing what I know and that Kenya is going to come back and shake the shit up with Phaedra and be the one to blow the lid off the table and off the pot and like expose shit, now it makes me more interested. But originally, was I excited to hear or wonder if Kenya was coming back? No. Okay. So I think I only had like 2 more questions for Spirit. Okay, so I wanted to know. I said, Spirit, okay, so I've set with all of this information. I need to know 100%, is this Phaedra T going to come out? Like 100% publicly in 3D reality? Because, again, downloads, all of this stuff, all of this information, but like sometimes it could be, in 5D. It could be spiritually. It could be energetically. No, bitch, Spirit, don't play with me. I need to know. In 3D reality, is this shit coming out? Is it coming to air? Okay? And Spirit assured me, yes. Okay, this isn't just a storyline, it's a setup, and setups always leave crumbs. The truth isn't staying hidden. Somebody's already watching, analyzing, collecting receipts, and it's not just speculation, it's a matter of timing. The illusion cracks, the spin falls, fails, and what was done in the shadows becomes front and center, public, messy, 3D. Somebody's silence is temporary, and when they finally speak, it's not going to be subtle, it's going to be calculated, it's undeniable. So it's not a maybe someday, it's a when it hits, it's going to hit hard. Okay. And so I'm like, obviously, the person collecting receipts is Kenya, and Spirit reconfirmed. Yes, it's given Kenya with a burner phone full of receipts and a smirk that basically says, listen, I've been new. I was just waiting for the cameras. And that's what it's given. Wholeheartedly in my heart of hearts right now, I 1000% believe this. Okay. Because Kenya isn't just messy or for fun. Like, not this time. She's calculated. She's observant. She has something to prove. She's waiting for the perfect moment to detonate. And Kenya sees the long game, and she knows public opinion is a weapon. So she's not rushing. She's building a case. And when Kenya finally speaks, it's not going to be a he said, she said. It's going to be a roll of footage. And everybody's going to gag. Everybody's going to gag. And so naturally, my next question was, so listen, it's safe to basically say and assume that Kenya versus Phaedra will be a storyline that returns, because they obviously haven't like really seen or spoken to each other like that in like 9 years. I mean, as far as we know, Kenya and Phaedra were cool, but like, I feel like something's going to happen. Like, what's going to pop this off? What's going to pop this off? Okay. And so Spirit said that Kenya versus Phaedra is the main event. The streets didn't even know they were starving for, but it's coming. And it's deeper than just a little bit of shade. This is unfinished karma from the dungeon era, and Kenya's finally ready to spin the block with receipts. So what's going to pop it off? It's going to be something that looks small at first, a seemingly light, playfully shady moment, maybe an offhand comment, a slick jab during a group conversation, or somebody bringing up loyalty and past lies. But instead of letting it slide, Kenya's going to do that thing that she does where she pauses and then she tilts her head and she, she's like, oh, so we're going there? And then boom, that's when the floodgates is going to open and the tension is going to be like a pressure cooker finally hitting its limit. It'll start with Kenya calling out inconsistencies, but then it's going to escalate fast because Phaedra is not one to admit guilt, as we've seen. She's a true Scorpio. So expect Phaedra to deflect, downplay, gaslight. But Kenya, she's going to stay calm. She's going to be poised. She's going to stack the evidence. And Kenya's not just doing it for revenge. She's doing it to clear the fog, okay? For the cast, for the audience, and for herself. And once that happens, lines is going to be drawn, and the season's true narrative will shift hard, right? Because mind you, Kenya is still friends with Candy. She's great friends with Candy, right? So Kenya's loyalty to Candy is not a game. Candy might have chosen peace and professionalism post Dungeon Gate era, but Kenya Kenya is the type to store the betrayal like a fine wine, right? She's going to let it age. Then she's going to crack it open at the perfect moment to serve cold. And she remembers everything. She was front row for all the pain that Candy had to go through. Because remember, you're going to pay for what you did to Candy. Shout out to Nene, but not really because I don't like her. But all the pain that Candy went through. And so Kenya never fully trusted Phaedra after that. And so now, with Phaedra back on the show, you know, trying to play Southern Belle like nothing ever happened, Kenya's going to be like, nah, bitch. Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay? And then adding the fact that this Angela drama is giving echoes of past manipulation. Yeah, Kenya's not going to let it slide, especially if it looks like it's history repeating itself, but with a new face taking the fall. She's watching everything. She's hearing everything. And when the time's right, she's not just going to speak. She's going to deliver a monologue that rewrites the whole season. So I'm telling y'all, this is about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy, y'all. It's about to get crazy. As far as the Tierra Monet tea, we just going to sit with that. We just going to sit with that. Because that is something brand new. Like I said, that's a download that just came to me just now as I was filming this in real time. So just take the Tierra tea with a grain of salt. But everything else, I believe. As always, I have to remind you guys, timelines can shift. Energy can change. Energy is fluid. So we just going to keep this as something that may or may not happen, even though I'm more inclined to believe that most of this will happen. Because Scott don't miss. Okay? Even if y'all saw the recent video that I did, because I did a video 2-3 weeks ago at the end of June, I told y'all that there is a prophecy coming for well, I had put out a prophecy about Beyonce and Jay, and I said, watch, she's going to start doing things with Act 3 that nobody's expecting, and it's going to be to overshadow what's coming with Jay-Z. And what happened? Soon as Jay-Z's name was in the blogs and all of that, because Jay-Z's been getting dragged all month by Nicki, by the courts, by everybody, and all of a sudden Act 3 is stolen. Yeah, I warned y'all about that, and I do feel like Act 3 is going to drop next month, and we'll probably get the first single on the 29th, like 11 days from now. We shall see. Because even when the news came out, the day that the news had broke, somebody had said, oh my God, I can't believe we only have 3 more shows from Beyonce. I was like, wait, so you mean to tell me that Act 3 gets stolen the day that the news is announced? There's only 3 more shows left? I don't know. Okay. But yeah, we got that video. And then I'm also going to do this video because I'm sure everybody's wondering about Nicki and what's going on with that. We're going to do that. I also have a Megan Tory video coming. And yeah, we're just going to try to take this series as far as we can. I'm enjoying doing it. And listen, Scott don't miss. Even if everything doesn't 100% come out exactly how I see it and how I feel it, Scott don't miss. Y'all know for the generalness of what I say and what I put out, I don't miss. And y'all be confirming it with me every single day. Okay, so we just going to end this with this. Definitely take your ass over to the thealignmentsouls.com, book you a motherfucking alignment reading, because that's definitely where I don't miss when it comes to personal one-on-one readings. Yeah, get your life in order, mama. Get your life in order, okay? Even if you're thinking about moving and you just want to go on vacation somewhere or you want to relocate, you cannot do that without getting a reading done. You cannot, okay? Because the energy changes in different places that you live. That's why some people love New York. Some people hate it. Some people can grind it. Some people depressed as hell there, okay? Even Kim K, when she went to Paris, she got robbed. That's for a reason. She went to her Mars line. Stay away from Mars lines. Even if your money fucked up, bitch, book a money reading. We'll get it together, okay? And if you ain't got the money like that, take your broke ass over there and get a quickie reading. Anything is better than nothing. If you know that you sick and tired of being sick and tired, but you hear me promote these motherfucking readings every video, but you still choosing not to better your life and better yourself, then use the dumb bitch. That's all. Okay, so I love each and every one of y'all, allegedly. That's it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Stay tuned for the next Stars and Scandals, because that's where we look to the stars for the stars and the scandals that they in. Bye, girl.
Tell you every time I saw on the bed. None of these bitches is touching